Alright, well, g'day there. Richard Musgrave-Evans here again, and welcome back. Now, I'm inside the old RUSTIC shed studio that I've got, and I really love this because I've got old tools. I've collected a lot of stuff over the years. We've got the workbench here for a starter, beautiful, and there's a vise there which I'll be painting today. Just a simple subject, just going to paint the old vise. The cup, maybe put a few of those cobwebs in. I haven't been here for a little while, so there's a lot of cobwebs built up. There's so much character. Anyway, got the Belgian linen, got the palette knife, and today I'll be holding the palette so you can see the mixes easier. And we'll pan around every now and then and check out some of the old tools and whatever else is in this shed. Alright, let's get on with the biggest differences between having a blank nothing and a finished product. Okay, let me have a look. Okay, let's get into it now. Another thing, I'm noticing the vantage point I prefer to be is slightly lower. What I'm looking at down here is more the view that I want. So if you see me crouching a bit while I'm painting, don't worry about that. That's all part of it. Okay, let's go. Let's go with some darks. Before we get too carried away, let's have a look at this. We've only got very simple colours at the moment. I might add a bit more, I will, but at the moment it's just ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, alizarin crimson, yellow ochre, titanium white. I might get the stronger red out in a minute once I start blocking in, but let's go anyway. We'll go for burnt sienna, we'll make some darks. Ultramarine blue and burnt sienna makes a pretty good dark. A little bit of red thrown in maybe. Okay, now. Just working out where that... I'm just blocking in major tonal shapes here. Will be the bench top about there. Well, I'm in the light, I can see that's blocking, so I'll try and stand back like that so you can get a better idea of what I'm mixing. Alright, so that's through there. Now, I might make the back, if I get lower, I can see that the corrugated iron on the back there comes down into the picture lower, and I prefer that, that's what I'm going for. About there, right. Yeah. Ultramarine blue, burnt sienna. In the centre there. This is just me working something out here where I'm going to put it. It's about there. Before I get too carried away with any major shapes, got to make sure that I get things in the right spot. Alright, I'll stand back and have a look. Alright, standing back and having a look made me realise that I just want to bring that cup in a little closer. It's more going to be about there. It's very important that you get these early phases correct in the correct spot before you start getting too carried away. Let's do some ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. I'll make it quite dark down in the back here. Burnt sienna, ultramarine blue. Keep my head out of the way so there's no shadow on the palette for you guys. Now this easel here, I leave this easel in this shed. It's a classic old easel. It's one I made myself. Just a few bits of pine and whatever. I saw one once and I thought, well, I could probably make that, so I copied it and knocked up my own one. It's quite a good thing. You can go all the way down and up, make quite a big, do quite a big painting, but at the same time, let me just think what I'm doing now. Let's just get some dark in there. At the same time, it's still quite a light easel. You can move around easy and do whatever you want. Those darks are going in. So this is all just going to be palette knife technique today. More burnt sienna, whatever. Let's just establish some darks right down low. I'm going to get plenty of paint on, and then we'll start working it all out after that. That'll go there. Yeah, so those darks at the moment are really just the ultramarine blue and the burnt sienna. That seems to be working all right. Okay, let's just keep getting the dark masses on. I'll just make that bench a little bit thicker, a little bit higher. See, so you know what I'm doing, I'll mix more of the colour of the bench. Let's go for yellow ochre and burnt sienna. Now, it's very windy outside, that's probably coming up on the camera. The sound, the audio, it's just the trees banging around. Okay, so that'll be a bit higher like that. Burnt sienna, yellow ochre. Establish that across there. Classic rustic old bench. There's some great stuff in here. I do like this studio. Alright, now that will be a bit higher. Just introduce a little bit of white to lighten the value there. That'll be there. Go back to knocking in some of these darks. Now you could use brush of course for this technique. I just like to use knife just because, you know, it's something that I do. It's a bit of my thing, I've gotten used to it and I enjoy it. And also I don't have to clean brushes at the end of the day, which also helps. Yeah, so there you go. But this technique will definitely work as well using brushes of course. Painting in a tonal light to dark. We've got dark here when we're moving into the light, moving across. Alright, it's working out. Let's just go for, we'll stay with this dark for now. Not going in, I'm just going to go through to it, it's going to come through like that. That's going to be up there like that. Yeah, that'll be the background there. Okay, ultramarine blue, bit of white. Ultramarine blue, burnt sienna. Maybe a bit of red. Just trying to knock in a little bit of a colour similar to the corrugated iron in the background. This ultramarine blue, burnt sienna. Bit of white to lighten the value. Just scrape it on for now fairly thin just to get an idea if I'm getting the colours how I want them. Well, that wind is crazy. Beautiful gum trees brushing against the roof. Australian gum tree. Alright. We're getting too much of a sheen on that painting. I can see a bit of a sheen forming. I'm going to have to do something about that. Let's just darken up here. Burnt sienna, blue. Bring that shadow through like that. Make some of those corrugations. Alright, now I've just moved the painting a little bit. It was getting a bit of a sheen, so it should be better now. We'll see what happens. Bit of white, bit of yellow ochre and burnt sienna. A bit more burnt sienna. Just going to do the top of that bench, lighten the value there. I can come right up into here. A little bit of light kicking around there. corner. Pull that across. Okay, so that's very vague at the moment, but all shall come together once I start doing a bit more refining. Ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, very much a tonal painting here. Just getting the feeling of that and just generally softening those bits. Into that corner there. Right, here we go, burnt sienna, ultramarine again. Bring that down. Whoops, got to keep my blooming head out of the way so we can see what is going on here. There we go. Yeah. That'll be the cup in that area. Bit of a shadow cast. Bring that bench top up a little bit higher, nothing set in concrete just yet. That comes up about, maybe about there. That's looking about right, yeah. Won't matter, it's got all those bits of grey mixed up in the works there because that's keying the bench down to more of the true values. Everything's just suggested at the moment. Okay, let's just introduce a little bit of this alizarin crimson. I have got the cad red on there if I need it. I'll start with the alizarin crimson, which is a nice blue red. We'll just put that in first. Out there. It's alright, it's dark there. Mix up a lighter value. We'll go white. White. Ultramarine blue, grey it off with all these other bits and pieces. Darken off a bit here with a bit of burnt sienna, a little bit less white. Hopefully that wind is not too much of a drama for you guys. Red, just here. Yeah. That can be the handle, just licking the light there. Now hang a sec, I'm just going to go clean the knife. A little bit of the cad red, maybe a bit of the white to lighten the value a bit. Just get down a little to the level I want to see. That is way too light in value. Let's go a little bit more of the alizarin crimson. That's lighten the value. Okay, get back into some darks. And sienna again. Ultramarine blue. Just casting a bit of a shadow down there. And then you've got a dull little piece coming down here from the handle. Yeah. Off the brown, pull that down. That kicks in yet. Slight metal tone there. Down like that. That'll be there. Then sienna and white. Let's that's the case. If that's the case. There's the shadow for it. A bit more darks. Bit of red with that because it's the bottom of the cup. Up that way. Shadows falling into there. It's all a matter of, that wind's crazy. It's all a matter of just doing subtle draftsmanship changes. I'm going to wait for that wind to calm down a bit. And it's all a matter of just manipulating those values that you've put in, just edging them around. Once you've just decided that you've got pretty much the colour and tonal values that you want, then just start feeling the shape of the objects. I'll come short of there because I don't want that going off the edge of the painting. Just getting these edges a little neater. What do we have here? Yeah, up there. Alright, let's have a look what we got. Always working with the tonal values ahead of anything, even ahead of the draftsmanship or form. And the tonal value of this bench is slightly darker, so I'm adding a little bit more of the shadow colour because that part is in the shadow. That will be like so. And then there's a fairly dark ridge just in here. Quite dark, let's go darker. Just here, where there's a chunk taken out of the bench, I'll put that shadow in. A little bit of a notch here. Because it's a rustic workbench, it's got plenty of character and notches and chunks taken out of it, which is great. Which is absolutely great for building the character. Alright. Just going to pull the knife through some of these areas, just want to soften it off a bit. Mysterious and dreamy off in the distance. I'll build our draftsmanship back into that iron soon. I just want to get it a little softer and less defined. Get everything generalised, suggested. A little bit of a darker tone there to stop your eye going off the edge. In this style of tonal paintings, your eyes tend to follow the light from out of the dark into the light, so you can see you've got the dark here and you're moving out into the light. But also, if you want to stop something, you may have that a bit brighter to send your eye in there, but if you darken that off, that'll stop you going out of the picture itself. There you go. Getting there. Okay, we'll just keep adding bits here and there. Darken that value there a little bit. Okay, so those bench, still got the character there, that's good. Start adding some of this corrugated iron back in maybe. The burnt siennas and ultramarine blue have been very dominant in this painting. I like to work with quite a simple palette because it's very easy to have a nice consistency throughout the painting when you use similar colours. And in a low lit scene like this anyway, it's going to be quite keyed down. The picture's going to be quite a tonal, keyed down. There won't be tons of colour saturation, so that kind of subdued palette is actually quite nice. Ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, Lisbon crimson, yellow, ochre and white with just a tiny bit of cad there. Nice and simple, all the colours work well, not expensive pigments, they're very stable, all the ochres and siennas and whatever. Great for painting this style of painting. A little bit of dark tone here. Getting the ellipses right on anything like that is quite often the keynote. They're not an easy thing to do, but I've found a way to think about it is as the ellipse, what have we got here? Something round like that. As you get the angle like that, this area here is fairly straight, and for every little bit that it goes, it gets quicker as it turns. So this part here has got hardly any curve in it. And then as it gets towards the edges, it quickens up for every little centimetre or inch or whatever it takes. As it goes out that little bit further, it builds on itself with the amount of bend. So fairly straight and then quicker bend towards the edges, and it seems to give that natural flow. In theory, a bit of dark there, it's going to have to start to build up. Likewise that one that way. Alright. Just with a clean knife, I'm just slightly softening the edges of this bench to take your eye out of the focal. It's not the focal area, you just want it to slightly feather off so it doesn't draw too much attention. Just softening like that nicely with the knife. Getting the edge of that a little cleaner. Just going to re-establish that. What do we got? Burnt sienna. It's going to come down into there nicely. There. Right. Let's just keep moving around. The picture slowly bringing bits in, refining bits as you see them. Once you make a statement that's semi-accurate, then look around for something else and build it up a little bit more accurate here, a little bit more accurate there. And I'm just putting shadow on the edge of this one. Alright, well I just moved the camera around a little bit because it was getting a bit hard. I think I was getting too much sheen on the painting, so what I've gone and done is swiveled around that way, and that also allows me to be able to stand back further and view the painting, because it's very important to get back and have a look at what you're doing to work out if you're on the right track or not. And so I was keep getting back, have a look, and with this angle I can see it much clearer. Before I was over that way, and when I got back I was looking at the painting on a weird angle, which made it very hard to judge, and now I can look at it straight on. Anyway, let's get some highlights going now. Might get some pure white here with maybe a twangy yellow ochre in it. Just want to put some in here. Start lightening the top of that up. It needs a few accents, so by putting a few lighter things like that, it'll really start to pull it together. A bit more white in that. Working on that beautiful, the edge of that bench. It's got such character. It's all starting to come along now. To build up a bit of character, what I might do is just get some pure light values. There's quite a few cobwebs kicking around, so I might just paint a little bit of it in, not too much. Just some nice fine lines, that is, not thick lines. Just a knife on edge, very thin, so you can only just see it. Very fine lines indeed. just to build a little bit of character, like there's something going on. Beautiful old rustic shed. Nice old cobwebs to help add to the charm and just give that extra refinement too. Because, hang on, we'll just put this one in. Because what's happening here is you've got the big values all blocked in, and then in the right areas you put those little finishing touches, and it really starts to sting and accent, and just these fine little cobwebs is really putting in some real illusion, I guess you could say, of detail. We won't do too much, so I might stand back and have a look and analyse what I've got going on. Well, I think we've pretty much got it now. I think I should leave it alone because I do seem to have the big impression. I've got all the major colours and tones positioned how I like them. I've got a good flow from out of the shadow, through the light and across. And up here I've played up some of the corrugated iron just a little bit more to draw your eye there, but keyed it down over here like I said, so you don't fall off the end of the painting. Some little highlights here and there just to put refinement in, and then a couple of fine lines just to suggest the cobwebs in the shed. Such a character, beautiful shed. Love this place. I'll have to do some more stuff in here, that's for sure. Anyway, on the whole, pretty happy with all the subtle colours. Down in the vise itself, there's a lot of warm ochres and stuff, but because the shed also has a blue light bouncing around, just natural light coming in through the windows and whatever, I've stuck subtle bits of blue in amongst the ochres, and even on the bench top here, and of course I've got it there. So you've got this subtle play of, still got warm and cool, even though it's very much a tertiary sort of autumn tone, warm tone painting. There's little cool stuff as well to really jump it, because it's the opposite on the colour wheel, and when you put warm and cool together, they really sing and dance and give the feeling of light. So that's what I've done there. A couple of fine accents. On the whole, pretty happy. Let's get that camera off now, come buzzing right in. You guys can have a look and see what you think. All right, thank you.